with a pass to Tyrell Robinson. You got 41 yards. Maybe tell us about that one.
It was a good play call by Coach Worley. Kind of caught him unexpected, and T-Rob made a great play. There's a lot of those today that receivers did a great job bringing in the ball and great protection by the line, so it was successful.
Hey, in the second half, after the defense stopped at 4th and 1, you got the ball back and were able to get a win on a short touchdown. You got the rush 24 through 3. Tell us about what was it like just to see the defense make a play and then be able to go in and convert, score a touchdown?
Yeah, it was incredible. The defense did what they've done all season, make big stops and big moments, and we really needed it right there. And it set up an easy touchdown drive for us. So that was great, just team football right there.
Just ask you, after Colin Madison got the interception, next play or second play, you won 42 yards. What opened up for you on that play?
Yeah, it was. If I remember right, that was the counter play. I was running behind Finucane here, and they full flow ran with Noah, and I was able to follow the guard and tackle, and Finucane made a great block on the perimeter, and we're able to get in the box.
All right, that's it. Thank you. Guys, congratulations on a great game. They really seem to stuff the running game, especially the inside running game, and you guys went to a passing game at 190 yards, I believe. What was the strategy going in, and what did you change as the game went on?
I think every game you take what the defense gives you, and they were bringing secondary pressure really hard, making it really difficult to run the ball at times. So that's why we were able to hit some more passing plays this week. But that's always the plan. Just take what they give you. So that was the plan this week.
Kind of a senior game for everybody here. The last one more now, but last regular season home game. How do you feel about that? Going out on a win.
It's a great feeling in second to last home game here to go out for a win, especially for all the seniors that I've grown up with here, and seeing Bryson and Cody and Max and Kyle do a great job just leading this team.
This game, your first 5 at home, you guys had a little bit of a cushion. This game was tooth and nail to the end. Can you talk about what this means for you guys? Yeah, it's the last year, senior day, but still to come up with plays on offense and defense and focus on that.
Yeah, it was a great team win. At times, we gotta score touchdowns instead of field goals. It won't make it as close, but great team win. Great to see the defense, just play their hearts out like they've done all season. And we knew a close game was coming at some point this season, and that was today. And I'm just proud of the fight in our guys. That was really good to see.
You tied the conference record for rushing touchdowns of the season today. Didn't know that, but just talk about the way you guys were able to get the scores when you needed it in this game. Your touchdown runs were really key.
Yeah, like I said, there was still some touchdowns left out there that wish we could have converted on to help the defense out a little bit, but we were able to do just enough to get the win. So just really proud of the offense, especially the guys up front, making holes and allowing us to score those.
I guess regular season AAC champs in the first year for Army, but talk about the opportunity to play Tulane Friday for the conference championship.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the organization. The first year we're in the American Conference to compete for a title, and especially we've been echoing in the building that every game going on for the remainder of the season is really for a championship, and so we have to elevate as a team because the more is on the line in the next coming game, for sure.
Go ahead, Ken. Connor, just 217 yards rushing today, you had to go against the defensive line that was primed to stop the run. They were putting 4 defensive linemen down, and the defensive ends were enclosed. And what did it take to be successful against that?
Yeah, all it takes is just all 11 guys doing their job. We got 10 guys sustaining blocks and 1 ball carrier, just executing what we needed to do. And that's kind of what happened when the whole offense was on the same page. We had productive plays, and when we weren't, we had negative yardage plays. And we can do much better. It was not our best game on offense, and I think everybody's going to have a great week of practice getting ready for Tulane this Friday.
We'll go to a couple on Zoom. Joey Acano, go ahead. Hey guys, congratulations on the win. And Bryson, first, I know, as you mentioned, taking the defense gives you, but we know Army prefers to run the ball. But how nice is it to know if you have to complete some big passes like you did today, that A, you have the ability to do that, B, your receivers can get open and make great catches, which a lot of those catches were really solid. Liam Fortner came up with his first big catch of the season on that post. And then that the O-line, Connor and crew, give you time to block. How nice of a luxury is that?
Yeah, and we've been confident in that, throughout the season. We just need to utilize it more today. And like seeing guys like Liam, T-Rob come up with big catches that might not have had as many targets throughout the season. Just seeing them make big plays is awesome. And then, guys like Casey who've been there all season making plays. He ran some really good routes against, some tight man coverage and made plays. It wasn't just all wide open today. So, it was great to see those guys make plays. And, yeah, like you said, the O-line did a great job blocking up front and gave me time to make those throws.
And follow-up and final question, but kind of along the same line for you, Connor. Did the O-line spend extra time practicing pass blocking this week? Your protection was pretty solid most of the game.
No, actually had a very vanilla week of practice in terms of preparing.
Okay.
I think just what UTSA was doing, they did a very good job on defense. Very talented players, played hard, well coached, and they just that's what they were giving us. And Coach Worley could probably speak better on that.
Ken McMillan, go ahead.
Connor, Ken McMillan from the Record. Congratulations on the win. What does it mean to you for Army to go 10-1? Only the fourth time Army's ever had 10 wins in the season, and yet you still have so much more to play for.
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. But as you said, the season's not over, and we have a lot to play for. It's just a testament to the senior leadership and the captains of this team, just executing what Coach Muckin wants, and just representing the tradition of the brotherhood.
And Bryson, if you can just talk about having to find other ways to win today. For a while, UTSA was really stopping up the run game and really kind of denying you guys on the outside, but you still persisted. You started making some adjustments and kind of broke the game open.
Yeah, and I think that speaks a lot to Coach Worley's plan and his ability to get us into some other plays when our base game plan isn't as successful. So just having answers to what the defense is doing has been huge this year, and Coach Worley's done a good job of putting us in good positions.
And Bryson, just talk about Traeger not getting 3 field goals for you guys.
Yeah, that was huge. We needed him today. Like I said, we got to finish with touchdowns and let Trey just hang out on the sideline. But he was called on, and he made those field goals, and that was huge for us today.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks. Thank you, guys. Thanks again.
Who we have coming in? Thomas.
But cannot be the beginning of the lost his helmet. You have to come out. Change. I get that. What's happening now? And you have the elite schools, which is a far too. Then you have the double A schools.
All right, our two defensive players will be linebacker Candace Thomas and safety Colin Madison. You want to start, Seth?
Thank you. Congratulations, either one of you guys. The defense really seemed to win the game today. You had 2 interceptions, and you had, of course, the fumble, and you played a really good game, stopping on 4th and 1 on their own 16. Can you talk about the defense today and maybe for the whole year?
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, I'm super proud of the guys. You know, everybody's doing their 111th. Obviously, not a great outing last week. So we had a great week of practice this week. You know, bounce back, put it in the past. You know, everybody did their job well, communicated well. So just proud of the guys.
I would say to piggyback off that, we were very intentional in practice this week. Everyone wanted to come back stronger. You know, last week we left kind of a salty impression, I guess, to the rest of college football. That's something we wanted to work on. So we all kind of trust each other coming into this week, and we're able to get the job done.
My final question is, their quarterback, a lot of touchdowns this year, a lot of yards. You kind of stopped them, and they scored 24 points, I think, or 24 points in the whole game. Anything that was done in practice or during the game that made a difference?
I mean, you know, credit to him. He's a great quarterback. You know, watching film, he's been making a lot of great throws, making a lot of great reads, pulling the ball when he needs to. But like I said, you know, everybody just did their 111th, communicated well, you know, handled the fundamentals as they should be, tackling, good coverage technique. So, yeah.
We were just able to come out and execute our game plan. They obviously had a really good offense. They had a really good team. We were well coached, very disciplined team. Able to come out and just get the job done.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Casey, you were involved with one of the interceptions. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. So Casey went down, so I came in. So something we always kind of pride ourselves on is coming into the play and your numbers called, step up, and there's no drop off there. So I came in for that play and was able to go up and make a play.
That moment for you, I mean, just to have that moment for you in this game, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, sir. It was awesome. I think the best part about it was afterwards, like having all the guys around me, my teammates, like all the guys you work super hard with in the off season and spring ball and fall camp and the summer and everything. It kind of just accumulates, and it's really, really cool moment. Something I won't ever forget.
Go ahead, Ken.
And then maybe you had 14 tackles in the game. You know, you and Akil really were stopping in the middle and Caleb, had a key sack, in the early in the game on a 3rd and 7 forced punt. Just tell us about how you and Andy really combined on that.
I mean, Caleb, he obviously, it's all good. Caleb, he's obviously doing a great job. He's always right place, super proud of the guy. He's my brother. But really, it's just running the football pursuit. I mean, we all end up where we're supposed to, but the biggest thing is just pursuit, and that's something we really pride ourselves on. So.
And Colin, maybe just take us through the play, what you saw happening when you made the interception, then being able to run back 41 yards and help set up, get the ball, give your team field position.
Those are I saw two kind of just run vertical, so I knew I had to get depth. I was able to go across, make a play, and then I think Max was right in front of me as soon as I caught it, and he was like, "Just follow me" or something. So I kind of just followed him, followed the blocks, and then my teammates, set me up for a great return.
Now, maybe just at the end, were you in when Casey made the interception?
No, sir.
Well, tell us about that. I mean, it's 29-24. They're trying to move the ball downfield, and your defense makes a big play. What did you see happening on that play?
It just goes back to trusting one another. We never flinched in that moment. We knew our defense had to go out and get a stop, and that's what we did. Casey did his job. Everyone did his job. Gavin, I think, come over and hit the guy, and that's what caused the ball to come up in the air. So everyone's trusting each other and doing their job.
But, Sal, and then was there a lot of emphasis on winning this game to have another game here at Mikey this week? How much did you put on that? And now that you win, what do you feel like being able to hold the championship game here again?
Well, obviously we pride ourselves in going 1-0 every week, but there's definitely a little drive, for the seniors, making sure this wasn't their last home game. And yeah, we're obviously blessed with the opportunity to have another one next week. So.
Anything else in the room? We'll go to Zoom. Joe Iacano, go ahead.
Hey, Andon, first of all, congratulations on the win, guys. Great defensive
Thank you,
effort
sir.
across the board. And then on the 4th and 1 play, where you guys got the stop in plus red zone territory there, that led to Army's go-ahead touchdown. Can you kind of talk us through that play? I think you and Caleb made the stop there in the backfield along with maybe a couple other guys. Were you surprised they went for it that deep in their own territory, or did you guys kind of expect that based on the way the game was going?
Yeah, no, we kind of expected it. Obviously we had our punt block and defense ready, but we knew they wanted to run the ball. Coach Woody called a great play, and we were able to rally and get them down. So.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ken McMillan.
That's our record. Colin, can you just talk about why has Army's secondary been so effective as far as picking up interceptions this year?
The coaches are doing a really good job getting us and calls to allow us to do that, and then we're just trusting one another. You can't have everyone in one spot doing the same thing. You got to trust someone else going to do their job, which will lead to other guys making plays, stuff like that. So it's really just comes down to trust and flying to the ball. We're just trying to something we pride ourselves on. The defense is playing fast. So.
And you guys play pretty close to the vest and play it one game at a time. We hear that all year long. But honestly, what did you give Army's chances at being in this position at the start of this season?
I mean, obviously going to the off season, we are very intentional. We want to win everything we, put our hands on. So, I mean, we've worked really hard, really proud of the guys, and we feel like this is where we deserve to be. So.
And what do you think about getting one more home game on Friday?
We're blessed, man. I'm super excited. One last home game for the seniors, so got to make it count.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing there, buddy?
How you doing?
Thank you.
Nice necklace.
This is a lei. This is the kukui nut lei that I got from Command Sergeant Major Olivas from the 25th Infantry Division. They came all the way from Hawaii, and so it's traditional to give a lei when you arrive in Hawaii, and people bring them as gifts, and so these last a little better than flowers when they travel. So I got it after. He gave it to me in the locker room along with a coin, and so when we represent a unit, typically there are representatives of those units that come. Sometimes it's the commanding general. Sometimes it's a senior staff member, and usually always there's the command sergeant major of that unit that comes. So we were glad to have them here. And Disa King, who's a former player, is a colonel and on the command staff there, and so he came back with the command sergeant majors, and so they were in the locker room with us, which was really neat. So we're glad to have them there, and so when I lived in Hawaii for a couple years, as you probably remember me talking about, and so it means a lot to me to get a lei from them. So yeah, thank you. Proud of our guys. What a hard fought win. First of all, just credit to UTSA. They played a really good football game and fought, and Coach Traylor does such an excellent job coaching that team. They're talented, and I mean, it was just a battle all the way through. And fortunately, we made some plays, made some critical errors we were able to overcome, which I hope's a good sign. I wish we wouldn't have some of those the foolish penalties, the unsportsmanlike penalties. Very rare that we have those, and we had 2 today. But the guys they overcame some adversity, and to be down in the fourth quarter like we were and get a score, come up with a couple of interceptions that were absolutely huge in the football game, and to get that critical stop at the very end, because certainly we got stopped on 3 downs, didn't move the ball at all, missed a field goal, and they had momentum, and we were able to come up with that play. So I'm proud of our seniors, great senior class. They've led this team. 4 senior captains who have just done a tremendous job, and it's great to be able to honor them on Senior Day. And I'm excited to know that we're going to get a chance to play one more time here at Mikey Stadium next Friday night. So looking forward to the opportunity to play in the championship game. It's going to take a great effort next week. Tulane's got an unbelievable team, well coached, and it'll take the very best effort we've shown this entire season to win the game. But I know our guys are excited about having that opportunity, and it's great to get a win for our guys today.
Coach, just on Bryson Daly, he got the early touchdown to Tyrell Robinson, and then in the second half, he ran one for after on the short field. He got the 1-yard run for touchdown. He ran 42 yards to get the 2 touchdowns. So let's talk about his game today and his leadership.
It's hard to encapsulate just what he's meant to this team this year in terms of his leadership and his play. I mean, he's been the kind of the leader of our team with the way he's played and the way he's led. He's tough, physical. Obviously had an injury that kept him out of a game, and to see him come back the next week and rush for over 100 yards and lead our team to victory, and he just, I think, embodies all of the things that we hope for in an Army football player. He's tough, he's humble, he works really, really hard, and he does his job. He executes the job that he has, and he does it very selflessly, does it for the team. And so I'm really proud of him. He's a great kid, got a great family. He's a coach's kid. Just loves the game of football. And we're very fortunate to have him as our quarterback.
Defensive field corner had a sack in the first half that forced a punt, and then later he got a fumble recovery. And then Andy Thomas, 14 tackles. Your inside linebackers really played very well.
Those 2 guys have played really well all this year, Ken, and You know, Caleb obviously made a lot of plays for us a year ago as a starter. You know, the fumble recovery he got, they snapped it early. I think they miscommunicated, and the ball was kind of rolling around, and we were able to get on it. That was a big play because we had just turned the ball over, and we were able to get a field goal before halftime. And as it turns out, certainly big points for us in the ball game. Andon Thomas is, I mean, he's just been a great player at that position all year, and you know, he takes a pounding. I mean, to be in on that many tackles, and you're playing blocks, and you're having guys run into you, and you're diving for balls, and he's played really, really well all year long. So, you know, those two guys are both guys that our team leads on for leadership. You know, they're not team captains, but they're on the leadership council, voted by their teammates and classmates on the team, and deservedly so. They're both really, really good players and good leaders. And they'll probably find themselves as captains next year, just because of who they are and how much they meant to our team.
You got the 2 interceptions late in the game that were so pivotal from Colin Madison and Casey Larkin. What did you see setting up those 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter?
You know, they were trying to hit some big plays, and they needed to. It was just at that point in the game that they had to take some shots. And on the one, Colin just did a really nice job. It was a little underthrown, and he cut it. He was on the backside of the receiver, and he cut underneath it and made a nice interception and a really good return that set us up on about the 50 or a little bit, maybe might have been in plus territory. And then the last one was a great play by Gavin Shields. You know, he went up and defended the ball, and the ball popped up in the air, and Casey was able to grab a hold of it and wisely went to the ground, and we were able to finish out the game there. So both of those really good plays and certainly at clutch moments in the game.
Coach, did it make you nervous at all when you guys got behind during the fourth?
Nervous wouldn't necessarily be how I'd describe my emotions. You feel a sense of urgency when you're behind in the fourth quarter that you got to score. And it was tough. I mean, it was tough sledding there, as they say, throughout the game. We weren't getting the yards in the interior run with the running backs and the quarterback that we've been accustomed to getting, and that's credit UTSA. They did a really nice job. They had a good plan, and their players were doing a really good job playing blocks. Just some frustrating things, like having the ball down there on the 1 yard line, and I thought we had punched it in, and they put it on the 2 inch line, and then we jump off sides, things like that, and not getting the points that we could have. Those things are frustrating, and so to have a fourth quarter deficit and know that we're going to have to drive the field to be able to get some points. There's a sense of urgency because it's not like we've been plowing through them all day long and we felt like, hey, we just line up and run our base schemes here and hammer these guys. And we were pitching the ball in the perimeter, and they were triggering their corners and making it tough on us on the perimeter, which is why we had to rely on the pass some. And we were able to get some guys open on the play action passes, and we had some nice throws and some nice catches. We had a couple of drops that would have been nice to have completed, but we just kind of found a way and did what we needed to claw our way back. So the stop on 4th and 2, or 4th and 1.5, or whatever it was, they were going to punt when they switched from the third to the fourth quarter. In the first play, they brought the punt team out. We left our defense on the field, and just in case they were going to fake it on 4th and 1. And as it turned out, after the break, they trotted their offense back out in the field, put the defense out there, and we stopped them. And it was a huge play. So, and then we scored after that, and that was a big turn of events as well. I think they had to there. Certainly, we would have gone for it there. I think they had to go for it there. Just if they can turn the sticks and hang on to the ball and go even three more plays and punt, more time runs off the clock, fewer opportunities for us in our possessions, and it's hard to score without the ball. And so if they can maintain possession and get a first down, that gave them a pathway to the end zone. So I had they punted, I could see why they wouldn't there, because they kind of had they're backed up to their own goal line a little bit. But I think we all as coaches at some point just got to feel like, if we can move the ball 3 feet, maybe we can earn victory. And if we can't move it 3 feet, I've been in this situation before. I don't know if we're good enough to win if we can't get those 3 feet when we need it. Well, it's like being on the goal line. You punch the ball in and try to score on the goal line, and sometimes people get a goal line stand on you. And at the end of the game, if you don't win, it's like, hey, if we get the ball that close and we can't get in the end zone, the other team probably deserves to win. So we've been in that situation too.
Shields make plays, key plays in the game. That has to even reinforce that depth that you have all year long.
It's great to see those guys making plays like that. And, they get a lot of practice reps. The defensive line, they rotate a lot of those guys in. Probably inside linebacker position. They don't rotate as much. You see those two guys in there most of the game. The corners is kind of a 3-man rotation. There's Mays, Platt, and Weaver. And on the back end, Casey Larkin and Max going to play as many plays as they can. But to see those two guys come in for the guys that were injured, that's awesome to see guys like that step up and make plays. But what I'm proud of, those guys as backups prepare like starters. They don't wait until they're the starter and then they pay more attention in meetings, or they become more intentional with their reps at practice. This team really prepares well, like they're starters. And so when a guy has to go in, he's ready. And they're starters for a reason. We do feel like those guys give us the best chance, but there aren't a lot of positions on our team where if the starter goes out and the backup has to go in, we're scratching our head and crossing our fingers and, hoping. I think our guys will go in and really try and execute. For sure. Colin Madison's a guy that, a year ago, at this point, I didn't know if he would ever play for us. I didn't know if he'd ever get in a game on special team or safety position. And I've said that so many times, Sal. We've been here 11 years having similar conversations, but I think Austin Schufert back, I don't know, was it 4 or 5 years ago? He's starting for us in the most critical games in his senior year. And I would have told you 2 years before that, he'll never play because he just hadn't quite got there. But they just develop and they work so hard. And these guys care so much. It means so much to them. And so, you can't dynamite them out of the weight room. They get in there and work. And when they come in here tomorrow, they're going to be ready to meet and watch film and anxious to figure out how they can be better. They're not looking, I can't wait to see that play where I made a play. They want to see the ones where they got to get better. And that's what I appreciate about our team. They have to be that way. We're not talented enough to just walk in the meeting room and say, all right, well, we can fix that. That's real easy. Our guys got to work at it. But the coaches have done a good job, and they get coached with a lot of detail. Danny Verpel coaches our safeties. Coach Woody and the job he does with our defensive staff and getting those coaches, coaching the coaches and the coaches coaching their players. Really a great team effort. And Coach Worley, he's doing a terrific job with the offense and putting a lot on Bryson, but he can handle it.
I noticed that you played, the offense was a little bit different from the get-go. Short was getting more balls. some more passing, obviously, right from the start. Was that the strategy going in?
Bryson ran it 39 times last week, and you know, he can run the ball a lot and handle it. He's run it over 30 times this year before. But we got to take some of it off of him. He can't run it every single down. So we really wanted to distribute the ball and get some carries to other guys and take some of that off of Bryson. And so it was a conscious effort to do that. The passes are oftentimes a little reactionary to what they're presenting. And, you know, as I said, that they were firing their corners, and we pitched the ball out there and we couldn't block them and arc them. They just, as soon as we brought motion and that action started, they were triggering those guys. But that allowed some of those play action passes to open up. And sometimes that's the only way you can get their attention. We can't go out there and cut them anymore. We used to be able to go out there and just throw at their legs and cut them, and that, you know, that would solve some of the problems. But now we've got to do it with you know, other tools in the tool kit. So that the play action passes is just a way to slow them down and to try to keep them from triggering every time we run a guy in motion.
In the league, in the first year, what's your feeling now? Did you think this was possible in the middle of August?
Yeah, in August, I was just hoping we could have a good week of preseason camp to start camp. And by the end of August, I was hoping that we'd have a good enough team to compete against Lehigh. And so I don't know. I never thought about or crossed my mind to even consider, well, what would it be like to be 8-0 in the league? We're just trying to be 1-0 every week. And our guys have had that attitude, and that's certainly my attitude. But it's you know, it's a great accomplishment for our players to be able to do that. It's hard to do. It's hard to go undefeated. Well, certainly we're not undefeated. We lost last week. And we're not undefeated in the league. We got the potential to be, but there's one more game to play, and it'll be the hardest game of the year against the best team in the league. And so it'll be a great challenge next Friday night, and we're excited about the opportunity, but we're going to have great preparation and great execution next Friday night in order to have a chance to win. So proud of our guys. Anything's possible for any team. It's just a matter of each team and how their guys do, you know, doing their job and following their plan. And our guys have done a pretty good job of trying to do their job. That they're 1/11th on each play, and trying to execute in the critical areas of the game, which, you know, for us is, you know, the third down plays and the plays on the goal line and the kicking game, being effective running the ball and stopping the run, which, you know, we've done a pretty good job of that this year. We've done, for the most part, a good job on defense of keeping big plays in front of us, not giving up too many of those. Today we had a lot of negative yardage plays on offense. It's one of the things we really try to focus on, not get behind the sticks. And we had, I think at halftime we had 6 negative yardage plays. And so, you know, there's critical areas of the game that we believe in, and we really try to build our game plan on how to execute in those areas. And so if we do that and we can do it consistently, then that gives us a chance to win. And, you know, each week's a new week. But like I said, I never think about, okay, here's our schedule, and, you know, it's possible for us to go 8-0. Teams in this league and teams we play are so athletic, so well coached, so talented that I just feel like every week it's going to be a really difficult chore for us to win the football game. And I knew that today. And they're playing their best football right now, UTSA. And so we beat a good football team today. Thanks, Seth.
Do you have one, John?
Yeah, Coach, this was a close 5-point game.
Hmm?
Trey Granati comes on with 3 field goals for all his team. He's been strong all year.
it's I love to talk about Trey. Here's a guy. He's worked his entire career at West Point for this opportunity to be the starter and be our kicker. And if we were another school, he might have transferred already. See the writing on the wall, and so I'm going to go somewhere where I can kick, be the starting kicker. And he earned the job this year as the place kicker, the field goal PAT kicker. And then when our kickoff specialist got hurt, Anderson, he came in and handled those duties as well, and he's done a really, really good job. I'm so proud of him. But he has worked so hard, and he's got such a great attitude and a mental toughness about him. That's one of the things I think Coach Saturnio does so well, and I appreciate so much about him as a coach, is he coaches those guys like football players. And so they are tough, and they they feel a great sense of responsibility to do their job well. And Trey's just been fantastic. I didn't miss that late field goal, and it was a longer field goal. It was 47 yards. That's no chip shot for anybody. And I don't know what the percentage is on those kicks in college, but it's going to be on the lower end of the 50-50 ball. It's probably a little better than 50-50, but no chip shot. So he missed that one, but he's been so good. That might have been his first miss this year. So he's done a great job. He's a great kid. I hope we'll keep kicking the ball well, because I'm sure we're going to need his leg as we go throughout the rest of the games here this coming week and the week to follow and whatever comes after that.
We'll do two on Zoom quick. Go ahead, Connell, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Bunking, congratulations on the win. You talked about the smart play Casey Larkin made, going down, sliding, taking after the interception. Talk about another slide knee take by Bryson Daly there at the end of the first half with a couple seconds left for you guys to be able to set up and kick the field goal. We've seen NFL quarterbacks get that wrong. So talk about what a good job Bryson did there, sliding down and making sure he made a smart play. Did you guys talk about it beforehand, or was it just something he had practiced enough to be able to do?
We practice it, and we've got a term that we use. There are several scenarios that we have. The North Texas game, 2 games ago, Bryson at the end of the game busted out of there and went down. He could have kept running, and even if he could have scored a touchdown, we wouldn't have scored a touchdown there. It was a situation where as soon as he got the first down, we knew that if we just turned the sticks and got a new set of downs, that we could take knees and kill the clock. And so the goal is to, in that situation, is to not allow the other team to have a pathway to victory. Today, then we did they called timeout right before it. So we had made the call. We were going to run the play. We had used the term, the tag term we have. He tells everybody in the huddle, so everybody in the huddle knows if I've got the ball in my hands, that I'm going to go down. Unless I can score a touchdown in that situation, I'm wide open, that I'm going to go down and be able to, kill the clock and kick a field goal. So we had a timeout, so we talked to all of them about it again. Talked to Bryson, and so as he was running, he recognized that guys were kind of collapsing on him. He wasn't going to be able to score a touchdown, so he went down, and that gave us an opportunity to kick the field goal. And there was, I think, 8 seconds on the clock, perhaps, when we took that snap. And when he took the slide, there was 4. So I let him run the clock, and I said, just take it down to 3 or less. And I'll call timeout. And so they did. And it's the last play field goals. But that was the good fortune we had of that fumble recovery we got that hit the quarterback. And again, it was right after our turnover. They turned it back over, and it was great to get that 3 points.
Ken McMillan, go ahead and wrap us up.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Hi, Jeff. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Jeff, you told us way back in April, even before you guys joined the AAC, that this is the reason why you joined a league, to have a chance at a league title, but also, stay in the hunt for a CFP spot too. Can you just talk about the significance of that decision to go to a league and now being in the position to win?
In today's college football world, with the expanded playoff and a guarantee that the highest ranked group of 5 conference champion would have a chance to go to the college football playoffs, if you're not in a conference, you're on the outside looking in. And I think in some ways we would be irrelevant. Certainly our academy counterparts who had both been a part of conferences with the expanded playoff, immediately, well, that gives us a pathway to the playoff. And if we remained independent, though that's been valuable for us and great for this institution for most of the history of the program, we had to do it. So fortunately, the American extended invitation and the relationships that Mike Buddy and General Gillen had made with Mike Oresco and who was the commissioner at the time in the American Athletic Conference, we were able to join the league and accept the invitation. So I'm glad we did. It was the right time for us to do that. To be playing in the conference championship game the first year is probably a little improbable. I mean, it's not something you anticipate. And a year ago, when we were having the press conference, and we sat out there on those chairs in Mikey Stadium, we might have been 2-6 at the time or 2-5 at the time, and I was thinking, God, I don't know if we can save the equipment. We're going to go join a league that's full of talented teams and well-coached teams, and we're just trying to get to the next week and win a game. And fortunately, we finished out the season strong last year. That was strong leadership we had in our program a year ago, and then able to start off well this year and play well and make enough plays, and we started to put some wins together. But frankly, we just never really. We haven't talked about it at all, about trying to go undefeated in the league or anything like that. It's not ever been about that. It's just trying to do the best we can to get the next victory. And so I'm so proud of our team. That's really where we've been. And I'm glad we joined the conference. It's awesome to be in this position, to have a chance to play for a conference championship, and not something you take for granted. There's I think 14 teams in this league. So we're one of the 2 that gets to play. That's pretty great for our guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a good afternoon. Hope everybody had happy Thanksgiving. I did. I got enough food at my house. You guys would all come eat right now, and we'd still have